Welcome to another exciting episode of Doug's Electronic Repair Bench.
Good late evening to you. I have come back in here to the workshop to play around a little bit more with this Julia radio. I can't put it down. I don't know why. But it's going on 12 o'clock. So I don't usually stay up this late, but grandson was out late because he had to work late. So he just now got in, and I thought, well, I'd make a start of this. I probably won't finish till tomorrow, obviously. But I want to show you what I did find. I think it's an interesting point. So let me get to that. I'll show you with the other camera, and we'll be right back.
But you know, in this kind of irregular.
All right, we're on the close-up camera now. Let me turn this down a little bit.
For a variety of reasons. And so what the government.
Okay, so what we have here is, let me see if I can get a better pointer. This little capacitor right here is, I get the noise on one side of the capacitor and I don't get it on the other side. I'm gonna guess that's the problem. I won't know any more than that till tomorrow when I take it out. But I probably, if it does prove to be that one there, I think I'll probably end up checking the others in this area. There's one there, and there. There's like two more on that side. One over here near the input to the output stage. And I may even check into those. Now these ones up here in the radio section, I'm going to leave those alone. For one thing, they're behind this panel and I can't get to them. So I think they'll be fine. I may not even replace the rest of them. I just want to mainly concentrate on the bad one if I can, and then go from there. So let me take a little closer view of this if I can. So you can see, I think, I hope you can. Let's see, like I said, it's that one right there. There's a transistor right in the middle of that too, which is a possibility. You know, there may be a problem with it. But I think it's mainly this capacitor right here. I think it's a 5 microfarad. I don't know exactly what the voltage was. This larger one here is 100 microfarad. I think it's 10 volts. And I couldn't see this one either. So that's what we're gonna go with as far as what I check out tomorrow. So it will play for probably, I'd say, at least an hour before we hear the noise. So it's just good idea. It may just be weak. So also, let me turn this all the way down. There we go. Also on this, let me put you up here a second. I was able to use the signal tracer. I was gonna use the scope, and then I got the signal tracer was sitting out already, so I thought, I'll try that and see. It was interesting to be able to tell the phase difference on the output transistors, because it is a push-pull output, and you could very clearly hear the phase difference with the speaker on the radio, and when they were in phase, you would get that. Anybody that's ever phased speakers knows what I'm talking about, but there's a clear indication of when they're in phase. You get a better bass response, basically clearer sound, and when they're out of phase, you get like a tinny sound. So that's the indication I got with the signal tracer, which actually made it kind of easy to find what I was looking for. And I was able to trace the audio stage back to the volume control, so which is volume controls right here. The white wire right there is the wiper, and that's where the signal comes off and goes to the audio amp. Goes down through the circuit board, comes up roughly over here, I think, near that the bad. See if I can, near the bad circuit board or cap, and comes up through the. Or actually, it attaches there. It goes through it over there, and then comes down over here. So all the audio circuitry is here. This is your inverting transformer for the push-pull, and that gives you that. You see, you have a primary here with a secondary with a center tap. So, and this is your output transformer here. So that goes directly to the speaker, and it's set up the same way with a center tap. So, anywho, that's how that works. And you have your let's see if I can. You have two output transistors, which are these two here, I do believe, and then there's two preamp transistors also. So, and this is I believe this is one in the audio circuit also. So you have 4 or 5 transistors there in the audio circuit. The rest of this is all radio. So, anywho, that is pretty clear as far as I can make it, I think. So, again, I'm hoping that was the case, because I was able to, like I said, I when it was making the noise, I could get the noise on one side of this capacitor, and if I touched the other side, I didn't hear the noise. So that's a pretty clear indication that that's a problem area right there. So anyway, that's what we're going to look at and take it out and check it out. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, and we'll talk at you later. I'm back with you this morning. Monday morning. Oh, lovely Monday morning. And I have the offending, I thought was the offending capacitor out. Turns out that was not the one I was poking on. It was this, which you can pretty much see 3 legs on, which means it's a transistor. And it is a 2SB33 transistor. I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm pretty sure it's germanium. But we will look it up and see what it says, and test that out, and not test it out, but see if I can replace it. And I definitely will replace the capacitor, being as it's out already. So that's about as far as I got, and I haven't even been into the living room yet to turn my computer on and see what's going on in the big bad world. So let me do that, and I'm going to take a little break here and see if I can find out some dope on the transistor, and I'll look up and see if I've got a replacement for that capacitor. I do have a bunch over here, you know. So, and I've got the circuit board with a bunch more in there, so good chance I've got some. So we will look around and see, and come back with you a little bit later. So stay tuned. Alright, back once more. I have the capacitor changed. I had a 4.7 capacitor. I checked them both, and the one I replaced, the one I put in, is much better than the old one that came out. So I'm going to try that, see if that has anything to do with it. I don't have a replacement for that transistor, so I couldn't very well replace it. So it seems to be playing alright. I'm going to let it play for a while like I did before. I did do one thing. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is no string right there. The string kind of got zapped when I was putting that transistor back in. And I don't even know how it happened. I was very careful, I thought. And but string is gone, so long live the string. Like I say, I'm going to let this play a while and see what happens. If the noise comes back, I'll know it's the transistor. I just thought maybe as bad as the capacitor was, maybe that was causing the transistor to do what it did. So, we shall see. Alright, back one last time here with you to show you what I've been doing here. This is the cap I replaced first, and I just replaced this one also. And this is the transistor that I took out and I do believe that is the bad transistor. It's a 2SB33, which is a germanium PNP transistor. I obviously don't have one of those, so I don't think I'm going to mess with it anymore. I've tracked down the problem to the transistor. That's really all I need to do. And of course, I think I already mentioned it, but while I was doing all the soldering, I managed to burn the dowel string in two. That's no and things you're not supposed to do. But I did, so it will have to be restrung. It did have a bad spot on it also that was wore all the way down, so probably wouldn't have been very long until it broke anyway. But so I think I have some dowel string around here somewhere, but I have not seen it for a while, so that'll either have to be found or something. So not a big deal. What I do have coming up here, let me get this closed out, and I'll get on the other camera with you. Alright, what I started to say was what I do have coming up here is a new project that was thrust upon me, shall we say. My granddaughters, when they come in here to do dishes, things like that, clean or whatever, they generally listen to a boombox, and I have demoed this boombox here on this channel before. I may put a link to that, but I've had this boombox since it was the 80s, I know, and it's still in very good shape. But it, while they were listening to it, I noticed one day when I came into the kitchen and was listening to the radio, it was only playing out of one speaker, so naturally I adjusted the balance control to see if that fixed the problem. It didn't. I was only getting audio out of one speaker. Well, that's a clear indication there's a problem. So I told the girls, I said, don't use it anymore, turned it off, and my fault, I should have unplugged it and took the cord, but I didn't. And it wasn't 2 days later, I guess, they were playing the radio again. And I said, I thought I told you not to play it. Oh, we didn't know you meant that. Girls never do. So anyway, I told them again not to play the radio. So this time they did listen. So tonight while they were here, I thought I must take that thing apart and see what the deal is with it. And first thing I found was the speaker for the right side was disconnected. It wasn't even connected. And anybody that knows anything about solid state equipment knows that you can't play can't play them with a speaker disconnected. They will burn out the audio chip or transistor, whatever is powering it. And so I went ahead and hooked it back up and tried it again, but still I'm not getting any right channel audio. So they did manage to burn the chip out. So I took it apart, and I don't know, that was probably a mistake. I'm gonna clean this mess up here, and probably tomorrow I may bring it in here and show you what I got. It's one of those 80s electronics that are, it's just all pieced together, and there's nothing really screwed in. I mean, as far as it's not one of these like old vintage radios where you can unscrew it and get it apart. And these are just like press fits, snap fits, plastic pieces snapped together, things like that. And it's just a mess. It's got little connectors that plug in one section to the other. It's got the dual cassette decks and AM, FM, stereo, and it's got a CD player on its top. Well, like I said, it's just a mess. So I'm not really sure how I can get this fixed. I pretty much figured out where the audio output chip is, so I may actually get that fixed, but I don't know if I can get this thing back together or not. So that's where I'm standing at, and once you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to close this out and get this uploaded, and as far as the Juliet's concerned, I'm going to have to order a transistor for it. Like I said, don't have one, and they're not really cheap. I think cheapest I found was like $9 shipped for 2 of them. which, you know, that's the way they get you on eBay. They, you know, they put them in pairs or whatever, and, you know, by the time you don't really need to, but, you know, they're always cheaper that way than if you bought a single one. I think the single ones were $7 or something like that. So, you know, why would you pay $7 for one when you get two for $2 more, right? That doesn't make any sense. So, anywho, I'm gonna do that, and oh, I wanted to show Jack this. I did have these, and like I said, I haven't even opened them yet, but they'll come a day. So, anyway, let me get off here, and you guys have a pleasant evening. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.